So I'll be talking about endowments, and the first thing, it's called a waqf, and that's an Arabic term, and it's the assets that are donated, bequeathed, or purchased to be held in perpetuity as a source for an ongoing charity for specific causes socially beneficial to them. Endowments resemble the common law trust, with the trustee being the institution or individual in charge of the waqf, and the beneficiary usually being the whole community. Common examples of endowments include a trust fund, land, building, or anything else that benefits their community. So the use of the money that they gain from the endowments, they use it for provision for the society at large, and provision of religious services, and provision and relief for the poor and needy. There are two essential characteristics of an endowment, and the first one, it's held in perpetuity. Once an endowment is dedicated, it remains an endowment forever. And then the conditions and goals specified by the founder must be fulfilled. So they have to get what they wanted to be done in order to have it to work. So to this day, there are ministries of endowments in many Muslim populated countries, such as Egypt, Jordan, and Palestine, which oversee mosques and other endowment properties, and they help preserve certain lands and even churches. So on the laws of inheritance, inheritance is considered an important part of the Sharia law, and Muslims inherit from one another as it's stated in the Quran. So when the Muslim dies, there's 4 duties which need to be performed first, and 1 is the payment of all the funeral expenses, 2, the payment of the dead person's debts, and 3, the execution of his or her will, and then distribution among the remaining estate amongst their heirs according to the Sharia. The task is to firstly determine which of the deceased are entitled to inherit. Secondly, to determine the quantum share entitlement of each of the heirs concerned. In Quran 4:11, it states that Allah commands you regarding your children, for the male a share equivalent to that of 2 females. So now the laws on marriage, divorce, and childcare. And to determine the validity of a marriage, the Islamic family law decides whether a man or a woman are living in a lawful wedlock or if they're committing zina, which is a serious sin and a capital offense. So the children from this marriage it's called a void marriage, and they're considered illegitimate, and they're disqualified from inheriting from their parents or relatives. Another rule is that the guardian cannot marry the divorced woman or the widow if she did not ask to be married. Lastly, it says, do not marry unless you give your wife something that is her right. And it is obligatory for a man to give a bride wealth to the woman he marries. So Ramadan is a holy month for Muslims that incorporates with their law. And it's the 9th month of the Muslim year, and they strictly fast from sunrise to sunset, and when they're not fasting, they feast. Most Arabs enjoy the Luqaymat in the holy month of Ramadan, and we brought it.